Hi everyone, I want to talk to you today about hypoglycemia in diabetes mellitus. Yeah, the problem is hyperglycemia, eh? But now it's talking about hypoglycemia at the same time, yeah, because you will be on medication or insulin, and then what is it? You need to know about hypoglycemia. Any value from 4.0 millimoles per liter and below is a cause for action. If it is too low, within few minutes, if there's no enough glucose supply to the brain, the story may change, and it's not going to be a palatable one. What are the causes of hypoglycemia? Insulin. Excess insulin compared to low carbohydrate intake, low glucose intake, then we're in trouble. Glyburide, I've said it in my previous video that you don't give it to my grandpa and grandma. It's not for elderly. Why? There will be very, very low glucose level, hypoglycemia in them. Chlorpropamide, first generations of phenylurias, they shut down the glucose fast. Hypoglycemia is also found if you are placing this patient on aspirin, warfarin, sulfonamide, and he or she is sneaking out to take alcohol, or you are controlling the lipid with gamfibrozil. Watch out for glucose shutdown. Glucose level will drop fast. Low food intake. Why will you give the insulin, give all other medications to control glucose level without food intake? Watch out. That is why when we were handling insulin the other time, we labeled some as rapid acting that will be given and the patient must eat 15 minutes after the injection. If not, there will be hypoglycemia, and that kills faster than hyperglycemia. High excretion of what is ingested. Somebody is just having diarrhea, or there's malabsorption that is leading to the diarrhea, then the glucose level is low, yet still on medication, or is not even on medication, there's possibility of hypoglycemia. Malnutrition with low glycogen storage. The glycogen in the liver is the one that will push out the glucose to the circulatory system when the level is low. But if the storage is low, then what are you going to get? Somebody who has not saved money. When you are hard up financially, where are you going to get money to spend? Still on hypoglycemia. Renal failure. Renal failure will affect metabolism of medications, particularly insulin. So when there's renal failure, there'll be high level of insulin and some other medications. The same thing with heart failure. And if there's glycogen storage disease, where you don't even have enough one, then the level of glucose will drop. Infants of gestational diabetic mothers, because they are exposed to high glucose level in utero. On being born to life, that high glucose environment is not there again, but the insulin is there. Then they will have hypoglycemia. Insulinoma, B-cell tumor of the pancreas. Doing what? Secreting excess insulin. And of course, the work of insulin, the main one is to bring down the glucose level. Now you have a kind of cancer that is producing that insulin in massive large number. When you compare that to food intake or whatever in that patient, it cannot match. And when it cannot match, then the glucose level will drop, hypoglycemia. Hypocortisol. Cortisol is expected to allow glucose level to rise, particularly early in the morning. But when cortisol level is not rising early in the morning, then the glucose level drops down. What are the symptoms? There are two major pathways when it comes to symptoms of hypoglycemia. That's what we call adrenergic symptoms and neuroglycopenic symptoms. The adrenergic symptoms are tremor, the hand will be shaking, everywhere could be shaking, palpitations, the heart is beating fast, sweating, anxiety, and of course, restless. Neuroglycopenic symptoms: dizziness, headache, blurred vision, becomes tired, becomes confused, and can worse and be, have seizures, then becomes unconscious, goes into coma, and if the diagnosis is not made on time and correction made quickly, death. Death. That's what we call Whipple's triad. In Whipple's triad, the serum glucose is less than 2.5 millimoles per liter in men and less than 2.2 millimoles per liter in women. Neuroglycopenic symptoms are here, like I've said: dizziness, headache, seizures, coma, and so on and so forth. This problem is solved with administration of glucose. Then you know this is Whipple's triad. Counter-regulatory hormones all are expected to increase in the face of hypoglycemia. Epinephrine, glucagon, cortisol, growth hormone, they are all supposed to shoot up the glucose level. The glucose level can also shoot up under some conditions like Cushing syndrome, acromegaly, pheocytoma, and glucagonomas. So when all these are high in people, the glucose level will not be down, rather they will have diabetes because the glucose level will be very high. So counter-regulatory hormones are helpful if there is hypoglycemia. Glucagon will come in, epinephrine can assist, high cortisol level is good for them, and of course growth hormone and some other disease conditions could help glucose level to rise. It might be an advantage under some situations, but most of the time it's not, because the glucose level will be high, and that is detrimental as well. Okay, with all said, how do we treat? The first thing, when somebody has been diagnosed with diabetes mellitus, either type 1 or type 2, let him or her know the signs and symptoms of hypoglycemia, because I'm going to place you on medication. I want you to change your lifestyle. I want you to lose weight. I want you to exercise. I want you to stop smoking. Don't drink alcohol. Do all this and that. But when you are doing all this, it's likely your glucose level will be dropping and can drop very low. Let them know the signs and symptoms. Keep lifesavers in your bag. If the hypoglycemic patient is conscious and is not vomiting, just give juice. Now, juice. Lifesavers. That will be okay. But if they are conscious and vomiting, or they are even unconscious, then we have to change the direction. Get D50 IV start. Or if that's not available or you can't get IV line, get glucagon, 1 milligram subcute. Then you maintain until the patient becomes conscious or could eat. If glucagon is not available and IV line is impossible while the patient has remained unconscious, give insta glucose. That will help. You just press it into the amount. That will help. Hypoglycemia unaware. It's not all the time that everybody will be able to know that the glucose level has dropped. Okay? Now, this is dangerous because when patients cannot tell that they perceive the adrenergic symptoms or neuroglycopenic symptoms and the glucose level is dropping, that is dangerous. So under what situations can that happen? Strict glycemic control. When somebody has been under very strict glucose monitoring and control so much, the body will be adapting to that low level. Chronic diabetes mellitus with neuropathy. Because anything you are exposed to for a long period of time, then your body chemistry will tend to adjust to that. So people who have been having diabetes for years and they've been having neuropathy may not be able to tell. Low epinephrine production, and of course beta blocker. Like I said, the first set of symptoms to set in hypoglycemic condition is beta adrenergic symptoms. At the adrenergic symptoms, if the beta blockers block the adrenergic symptoms, then the patient might not even know. So this patient is on beta blocker like metoprolol for heart-related issues. Now the glucose level is down, and also beta blockers on their own have hyperglycemia side effects. So in two ways. So, but the first major reason is that the adrenergic symptoms are being masked by beta blockers. Recurrent hypoglycemic episodes, of course, with body adaptation. Over and over, this person has been receiving this insult of low glucose level. With time, he or she will tend to think, well, that's the way life is, and the body won't even send signals again to the brain, and nothing happens to the person. The person won't even feel anything until he or she drops dead. So we have to watch out for signs and symptoms of hypoglycemia. Tell our patients the first things to do when the symptoms are setting in, and continue other management to have a better life. Thank you for watching my videos. We'll still talk more on diabetes mellitus. It's not end yet.